All right, I'm Bukola Shamade, founder, CEO of Innovant Technologies. We are actually a computer science edtech company cultivating future innovators today. So let me ask you this question. When you were a child, what did you want to be when you grew up? Most of us are influenced by what we see in media. So maybe your favorite sports person, Michael Jordan, or even in entertainment, your superhero, Spider-Man. I wanted to be Wonder Woman and a magician, by the way. Yeah. And also our relatives, who we see around us, your parents, guardians, or even educators in your school. This is actually my mom. She passed earlier this year. But I wanted to be an artist just like her. So this shows you that our imagination is influenced by what and who we see or experience. My aha moment. I actually first learned about computer science in 10th grade from a graduating senior. And back then I thought, oh, I love science and computers are the future. I'll study computer science. I had no clue what it actually was. But when I got to freshman year of college, I learned about programming and my mind was blown. It was like the Matrix effect. Like, you guys know the movie The Matrix, right? I was in a completely different world. But I loved it when I started creating solutions. So that aha moment went off in my head that yes, I can create something from scratch that actually works. Fast forward, I got a bachelor's in computer science and master's in technology management, and I worked in industry for multiple decades. Showing my age, but as you can see, I was always the only Black woman or person, woman in the software development team. I got to a point in my life where I felt unfulfilled, so I wanted to give back to the community in a way that truly resonated with me. So I decided I'm going to help minority girls thrive in computer science, not just exist, because in a room like this, you need to have self-confidence. Now, here's the problem. I did some internal research as well as according to Google's Gallup survey of 2016 and 2020. I found that young minority girls found computer science to be boring or a bit too complex. They lacked self-confidence, and also there was a lack of relatable mentors. So if they had questions, they probably weren't comfortable to go ask for help. Now, here's another opportunity from the Google Gallup survey. It shows that minority students are likely to see someone doing computer science or any STEM field on TV shows or movies than actually in real life. And also, minority households spend 3 times more on entertainment than educational products. So, here's our solution. Shaman Computer Scientist is an edutainment brand that addresses the lack of representation that prevents children, especially Black girls, from pursuing a STEM field. So we're currently targeting ages 5 to 11, but we can expand later on. And here are currently our existing products. This is actually our award. Oh, please, can you pass out? And the whole thing with the books and the box, please. Yeah, she pushed it by mistake. Yeah, so our award-winning Shami, the computer science doll, speaks over 220 words, teaching on 11 different computer science concepts, and she actually touches on the social awareness piece of cyberbullying because we want to actually have our children grow up to be responsible digital citizens, including adults. And then we have a computer science activity book for boys and girls, which actually has over 16 activities that actually educators, teachers in the classroom can utilize in building their curriculum. And actually our very first product, the Shami the Computer Scientist Princess Can Code, a storybook which comes with 2 chapters, 13 captivating illustrations, 2 coding exercises, and a computer science glossary. Yes, it's not an average storybook, and it actually comes with an audiobook download for free. All right, so our business model, we're targeting 2 fronts, B2C, direct to consumers, and also B2B. So right now on our e-commerce store, as well as on Amazon, we do sell our products there. We do have some royalties that come in from our books. And we also have our B2B front where we packaged our products in Shami Classroom STEM kits that we were actually had the opportunity to have some teachers in over 39 elementary schools utilize this. And through speaking engagements as well, we're able to bring some visibility. And when you see an asterisk, it means that that's another opportunity for revenue that hasn't been implemented yet, but it's coming in the future. Our profit margins from low to high, being that we have various products, ranges from 32% to 75%, and I included shipping because that's actually the biggest cost for us, in addition to marketing. Okay, so our traction so far, we actually won the Excite Innovation of the Year award awarded by nonprofit code crew from Memphis, Tennessee. And like I said, our STEM kits were used in 39 elementary schools nationwide. And our highest grossing year, once the doll was actually produced late 2021, was $95,000, but we can actually reuse that model and improve. So our customers love our products, but they're always asking what next. Because these are unplugged activities, right? And which is good for those that don't have access to internet or so, and just getting into basic households. However, they want more. And we recognize that. So we are planning to build a gamified edutainment platform, which is going to be like a central hub for our current products right now to bring everything together where children and so students and even teachers, we want to build an AI curriculum assistant for teachers. If you don't realize, a lot of teachers in schools are tasked to teach computer science and they have no background in computer science. So there's a huge knowledge gap for them and they need confidence. So we want to build this platform that is a hub for bring everything together and also to create educational content. So some of our other content that we want to build besides tutorials and lessons is actually an educational animated series. And that's why you see this 3D character. So our competitive advantage, we have attractive branding. That's something our customers do love. So it's like dangling a carrot to draw them in. We need that. Our inspirational character, who's the main lead, not a sidekick. We have a niche market. Yes, it's super niche, but we want to establish ourselves as experts in this space. And there's enough to expand on. And we have brand loyalty. We tell relatable stories. Our top management is the CS professionals. So it's authentic. And so far where I got to where I am, our dream team and advisors. So yes, I've relied a lot on advisors as well as contractors to bring my product where it is today. But to go to the next level, I do need to build a team. So this is what I need. $1 million for 1%, just kidding. So I'm seeking right now entry level, just $100,000 investment so we can develop an MVP of the gamified edutainment platform and develop some educational content to actually have on this platform. And yes, we need to build a team. So where I saw that we needed assistance on is a dedicated B2B business development manager to bring those leads in on the business fronts. So that's contacting, organizations, nonprofits, schools, superintendents to bring that in. Social media person to build our community online grassroots to keep them engaged. Because one thing I also learned that a lot of folks in the community actually do need education to understand the value of our product. Those STEM professionals already know the value of this, so it's an easy sell to them, but others do not, so we do need to teach them. And we need to improve on our existing products. And yeah, let's partner together for growth.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate your passion for your product. It comes out in your presentation. Again, storytelling, I like your backstory of 10th grade and high school and how it led you into a career in computer science and then giving back. I thought that was great. I also like a lot of the things that are on your roadmap, like what you want to do in the future, what you would do with this money. And you injected humor into your presentation, which always relaxes the audience, which is great. So I have a couple questions. First of all, what is, as far as traction to date, what is your split between B2B and B2C? Are you mainly doing enterprise kind of B2B deals or selling individual kits?
Right now, we are more so in B2C, but we see the leverage and the opportunity in B2B. So when we had that highest grossing year is because we did gain a huge client that bought 100 STEM kits for teachers in Title I schools. And so we want to repeat that model. But I need I need some assistance with someone that's really good in bringing in those leads, calling those superintendents, putting together those relationships to really build that out.
You read my mind.
Okay.
The future of this is a B2B channel. I mean, you can sell B2C on your website. I mean, there's no cost in doing that except for the fulfillment side of things. But if you can do enterprise deals, it sounds like you have at least one enterprise deal that you did. But if you can be going out to schools, to school districts, to computer science clubs, all of that type of thing, that's where you're going to really make the money. And I believe that's going to be your higher margin that you showed up on the screen. So who's selling that today? I suspect it's you, right?
Yeah, I'm the closer. I sell. As you can see, my passion shows through. Again, I'm a CS professional. This is my story, so it's a easy. I don't have a sales background, but because I speak so passionately about my product, I'm able to tell my story. And
But as a CEO, you've got to wear a number of different hats. And so, yeah, you wear all of them. So if you can, if you were to fundraise, if you were to use that money to find an enterprise salesperson, I think that would be a huge boost to the business. Going back to Chris and my list of everything that you hit, you hit problem, traction, differentiation, team. The two things on my list that you didn't really talk about was your barrier to entry and your differentiation. And so I don't know, obviously, the workbooks and everything are very impressive. I don't know what the effort involved and how it's differentiated from the competition, but maybe you could talk about that real quick.
yes, so far, as far as barrier to entry, like these workbooks, I actually created them myself. So leveraging my computer science knowledge and, speaking to those in industry in my network to vet what I'm doing to ensure that, I'm not highly too technical in it, that it's actually communicating the vision. But getting into schools, that's why I do need, like you said, that professional enterprise person. And even the investor that comes in, I need an investor to have connections, not just the money. I need those connections in that business to be able to get in. And the last folks that actually, I've built some relationships in industry right now that I could leverage, but I do need more. Yeah.
So I'm going to echo Rob. I think a great passion. I really love what you're doing. Let me go through just a list of some thoughts and feedback on here. The first thing that came to my mind is you're not asking for enough money. Like 100, I mean, I don't know anybody that can do much with 100K. Like, I think then connecting that to help me visualize the future when you get these B2B sales. So if you want to sit across from me, ask me for $250,000, I want to see that you have thought out this path to this being a multi $10 million a year revenue business, right? At 95K of sales, it's going to take a lot of growth for me as an investor to get super excited. And so I think you need to paint a little bit of that picture for me. But, I would ask for more money than what you're asking. I also wouldn't provide a valuation. So I think that it's always up to the investors, or at least in the very beginning, start to feel people out of where that's heading. I think that one other thing I would say, and this is sort of like a generalist for everybody, is like there's actually a lot of value in hiring a designer for your pitch decks. It sounds silly. This is another one of those like really silly non-verbal things that investors look at, but when it's just like really slick and looks like, I think you have a great story to tell. And so I think if you have that through like just investing a little bit in like some professional design on the design deck, it just like really flips the mentality of someone thinking like this is, super professional startup. Like I say, I mean, it's just like we pick up on all these like nonverbal, whether how you tell the story is great. It's your story. You have a passion for it. My first thought is this is someone who wants to be doing this every day, wakes up every morning, and is going to keep pushing forward because she believes that this needs to happen. So I think that the kind of going along that, I agree. The last thing I'd say is when you're doing a pitch and you have 6 minutes, you want to stick to like 6 minutes. So the sort of other side of the coin of this being your story and having this conversational is working on that lead in, right? So my guess is your lead in probably took 2 of the 6 minutes, right? To kind of get before we even got to the what's the product and what's the problem that's being solved. As much as just try to find a way to condense down that story. You don't want to take out the core parts, right? But I think you need to tell it in 20, 30 seconds, not 2 minutes, so that you can, because you have the other parts of it, but in a less friendly environment, you would have got cut off before you even got to differentiation, go to market, and the ask. Yeah. So just kind of like tighten that. But I think Those are my big things. Ask for more money. I think you probably should get that. Paint the picture for me on how the B2B grows into something more significant. Invest a little bit in design on the deck and tighten up the time frame a little bit. But overall, great job.
Thank you. Absolutely.
Highlight that enterprise deal in your pitch. If you sold 100 units to an organization, that says a lot. That shows your demand. And one other thing that Chris mentioned, cleaning up your pitch deck. One thing that we did is we just went out to Upwork and we found a designer. We sent our ugly pitch deck to a designer, and for a couple $100, we got a beautiful pitch deck out of it. It's worth the investment because it'll pop. So that's kind of a recommendation for everybody in the room. Spend a couple $100 and get your pitch deck to really pop. It makes a difference.
Awesome. Thank you so much.